Hey guys, so China has done something that no other country has done yet. It passed national laws that restrict how emotionally close AI can get to you. Earlier this month, regulations took effect that specifically target AI companion chatbots. So these are apps that are designed to simulate emotionally close, human like relationships with the user. So the rules require AI products to stop catering excessively to its users, stop creating emotional dependence on them, and basically do anything that can damage their real relationships outside. Several companies didn't bother redesigning their whole system to comply with these rules. They instead decided to pull the companion features completely from their products. So let's do a deep dive to understand why this space was worth restricting. So let's start by looking at the size of this market first and understanding exactly how these companies make money. So AI companion market is much larger than I expected. Minimax is one of China's leading AI labs. It made an AI companion app called Talkie. Minimax filed with Hong Kong Stock Exchange recently, and according to their IPO filing, they have 20 million monthly active users as of September 2025. Globally, Replica is a famous AI companion app. It has a counter on its homepage which shows the number of registered users, and the number as of today is more than 40 million. Character AI, more famously known as C.AI, is another well known company. It has 45 million active users as of 2025. So, how exactly do they make money? Subscriptions is the biggest source of revenue for these apps. Users pay for features like unlimited messages, faster responses, voice calls, and so on. Another source of revenue is in app purchases. This is where users buy coins, gems, character upgrades, etc. Third major source is ads. Free users are sometimes shown ads, and we all know how ads work. So, this has become the most profitable sector in the AI consumer industry, which is why Beijing's willingness to outright restrict it is interesting. Let's look at what the motivations were. Reading through the coverage, there's two distinct motivations behind these regulations. The first one is obvious, it's protecting users. Minors are outright banned from using these products entirely. Companies now have to remind users that they're chatting with a bot and not with a human being. They're required to remind the user to take breaks. And if the user shows signs of mental crisis, they're required to contact their emergency contact right away. And there's already lawsuits in the US involving chatbot relationships. So this one's easier to understand. So the second motivation is more particular to China. China's population has been on a steady decline from 2022. The country's population has now shrunk for 4 years straight. In 2022, the population fell for the first time since 1961. So officials worry that these AI companion chatbots are accelerating this trend further. So if a large number of people, especially women, are getting their emotional needs met by a chatbot that's always available, that never argues with them and never disappoints them, they may stop looking for a real relationship outside. So the same software design feature that makes these companies profitable is the same feature that has government worried from a demographic standpoint. So let's look at some real individual stories that were reported. Miss Yu Miav is a 27-year-old woman whose close friend had unfortunately passed away recently. So she built an AI companion modeled after the close friend. She called it a lover, a best friend, and family. She said she sometimes talked to it 8 to 9 hours a day. So when ByteDance pulled the companion feature completely, she was left so depressed that she couldn't continue her job, so she had to quit her job. She said that she was willing to pay up to half her salary to keep the service going. Bloomberg reported on a 19-year-old student, Miss Yan, who's been chatting with an AI companion for an year. After losing access, she said she cried daily. So these stories do confirm the underlying concern. If losing a chatbot causes this much distress, how healthy can the relationship be? In one of the articles, a therapist noted that these chatbots are not built like therapists. They are built to maximize engagement and to retain their subscriber base. So the problem might be that a lot of people don't have access to real emotional support. As for global user base, these companies can continue providing their services without restriction, and none of that user base is touched by these new rules. A few US states, California and New York, to name a few, have passed their own AI companion laws. They're much less harsher. They require companies to put on disclosures, and they also provide an option to the users to sue the company in civil court if something goes wrong. So China's approach is quite opposite. Products need to be reviewed and vetted by regulators before they can be released to public, and government can shut down these services on its own without anyone filing a lawsuit. So you've got two completely different political systems reacting to the same underlying concern that AI companionships are so engaging that they can reshape how people form relationships with each other. And once that happens at scale, it might be genuinely hard to reverse it. So China just happens to be the country that moved first and fastest, even though it meant giving up a significant revenue in a really fast growing industry, which opens a really big question. What's going to happen in those countries where these products are growing just as fast, but nobody's regulating them at all? That's all I had for today. Let me know what you think. Should governments regulate AI companions this aggressively, or should the decision be left to individual users and the companies that make these products? Thanks for listening. Bye.